Hey everybody, Heracross, how you doing today? He's got a question mark. If I was Heracross, I too would question how a giant rhinoceros beetle got captured by a 10-year-old, but he'll give us the blue scale. So, Heracross can pick up random items. I think every Pokemon in Gen 4, or like that follows you, can pick up like the scale stuff. But Heracross will do that. And if we come in this totally not suspicious shop, we can buy a tiny mushroom, and we can get it for like 500 Poké-Dollars. You can actually go and sell the tiny mushroom and get more money back, but yeah. That guy brought up Magikarp, acting up and turning into Gyarados, which I'm sure is completely normal, has nothing to do with this completely normal house here. But this guy here, we're talking about a red Gyarados, and if you know Pokemon, you probably know about the red Gyarados, but you probably do know that most Gyarados are blue, and so, yeah, not very normal for a Gyarados to be red, I'd say, but yeah. But this music is one of my favorite songs in the entire series. It's going to get ruined due to this trainer, because this trainer is a jerk. Even though I think it's a girl, but, well, girls can be jerks as well, you know, but, today, I'm gonna go and get this topic because I have a lot to talk about, because this is one of my favorite parts of the game coming up. We're going to be going to the Lake of Rage, and the Lake of Rage is one of the, I'd say, most well-known areas in Pokemon, and for good reason. It has very good music. It's got a really memorable area, like, you'll see when we get there. But, it's great. I love the Lake of Rage. This isn't my favorite part of the game in SoulSilver, but it's definitely, like, in my top 5 for sure. Just because, we'll get to it, but, like, as a kid, there are moments that stuck with me in video games when it comes to, like, fighting stuff. And funny enough, 2 of them involve, water, and, we'll get to it, but we're going to be fighting something in the water. But it also has a similar experience that I had with Final Fantasy VII, oddly enough. So, when I was a child, I remember watching my brother play Final Fantasy VII, and you probably know of the weapons. So there's like the Ruby weapon, the Sapphire weapon, and then there's the Emerald weapon. And the Emerald weapon will pop out if you're going like in the ocean, and the Emerald weapon will just pop up like right in front of you. And it's like, it scared the bejesus out of me as a kid, because it just comes out of nowhere. And this doesn't happen in this game, because this is Pokemon, obviously, but there's a moment where we're going to be in the water and see something that, as a kid, blew my mind. And it makes me think of seeing Emerald Weapon for the first time as a kid. And, yeah, I had, not nightmares over Emerald Weapon, but it definitely scared me. And to this day, even when I play FF7, when I get to that section, I definitely get a bit, I don't want to say on edge, but I definitely get kind of, some, like, vibes, you know? I don't know how to really explain it, but, yeah. I'm not really talking about the game right now. This girl's gonna float a Clefairy. We got Quilava here. Quilava is getting higher leveled. I will say Quilava will evolve around level 36, so we're getting closer and closer and closer to that final evolution with Quilava. Usually by now, I admittedly have Quilava leveled up higher. Maybe not ready to evolve fully, but he's pretty close. I'm actually trying to go through SoulSilver kind of under-leveled, because I want to make it more challenging on myself, admittedly, because I've played through SoulSilver so many times, you know. I've brought it up countless times, too, but we'll get this girl's phone number to talk about Clefairy and nothing else, I'm sure. But, yeah, the Lake of Rage theme is fantastic. It's one of my, like I said earlier, favorite Pokemon songs ever. I think it's a common one, admittedly, for one of, like, some favorites, because if you've played Pokemon Fire and Leaf Green, you'll know the Sevi Islands theme is actually the Lake of Rage theme. So, yeah. And we're not really fully at the lake yet, but it's already playing the song. This is really the Route, I believe, 38 theme, but everyone calls it the Lake of Rage theme. And in Japan, the lake is actually known as Gyarados Lake. So yeah, if you want to come through here, Team Rocket will just take $1,000 from you, and you can't battle them and tell them no. Like, you have to do it. And you can come in here multiple times. Like, I'm going to make a fool of myself and do later on in the part, but yeah. Oh, no, it's Route 43, not Route 38. But, yeah, like I brought up earlier, this place is known as Gyarados Lake in Japan. And, the Lake of Rage, because I'm going to get to it later on, I'm going to not have a ton of time, is based off of Lake Biwa in the Shiga Prefecture. Lake Biwa is the largest lake in Japan. This guy has a Slowbro, and I love Slowbro, so much. I don't know why I like Slowbro. I've just always really liked the Slowpoke line. I think it's because, like, it looks so derpy in the face, but I like it, how derpy it is. And I like that Slowbro is kind of the first fusion Pokemon, technically. I know people think it's probably Curon because they confuse with Zekrom and Reshiram. But no, Slowbro technically is the first fusion Pokemon if you think about it, because it is when a Shelder bites onto Slowpoke's tail and then it turns into a Slowbro, so yeah. I know it's like evolution actually in the games, but like in the anime that's how they do it, so that's what I go with. Here we got another Nidoking. Why these people love Nidoking at level 20, I don't understand, but whatever works for them, I guess. We're gonna throw out Espeon here, because Nidoking's Poison type, and Espeon is a good old Psychic here, and I don't really think I've used Espeon a lot since I got it, which is strange, because I normally abuse Espeon, not abuse, but like, I really use Espeon a lot when I'm playing through this game. But I'm going into the, I guess, lore of the Lake of Rage. It is said the Lake of Rage was created the last time many Gyarados got together and stirred up a storm, and it created quite a big crater that remained filled with rainwater, and later on became the Lake of Rage. And, actually, when you go to the Lake of Rage, you can find quite a few Pokemon, but the ones you're going to mostly find are Magikarp and Gyarados. So, there's a 90% catch rate of Magikarp and a 10% chance of catching a Gyarados. Gyarados is a really good Pokemon. It's flying water. It can learn a lot of Ice-type moves and Dragon moves, which is pretty nice. So, if you ever really want to, you know, get a Gyarados, I can recommend it. I've used one before in my Gen 3 runs. I really love Gyarados a lot. Gyarados is one of the most popular water types, probably one of the most popular Pokemon ever. I know in Gen 1 it's one of the most popular ever, and it's really good. I love Gyarados. I think everyone likes Gyarados. It's just such a, like, badass looking design. But also different designs I love. I haven't got to talk about this guy yet, Girafarig, who I think is a really underrated design. It's a giraffe with not a huge neck, surprisingly for a giraffe. I guess they couldn't really do it back then, but I love Girafarig. I don't know, it's one of those designs in Gen 2 that I don't think gets enough love. I have never used a Girafarig, admittedly. It's a Psychic type, it can learn some decent moves. I just never used it, but I like Girafarig, like design-wise. I think it's really cute. I don't know why. It makes me think of the Toys R Us giraffe, and I think Toys R Us is dead. I know it kind of was like scary he's gonna die, but I don't know if it actually did die. I don't know. But I know I'm kind of taking up time now. I'm just battling with trainers. I'm trying just to get some levels right now before we actually get up to the lake and have our big event, I guess is what I'll say. But yeah. And before I get into actually talking about the Lake of Rage, I want to talk about an actual trainer who you can meet here. And that is Ace Trainer Lois. Hey Lois, remember that time I went to the Lake of Rage? I can't do really. That's a bad Peter impression, I know. But, she'll actually mention that she's seen a pink Butterfree, which I'm assuming is a reference to the one that appears in the first season episode, Bye Bye Butterfree, which is still one of the saddest Pokemon episodes ever, because, like, Butterfree leaves, and then when you realize Butterfree dies after it mates, it's even sadder, and, oh, I hate it. Butterfree, come back! I think they did an episode later on in the anime where they, like, kind of tease like a pink Butterfree, and they think like maybe that's the same Ash Butterfree, but still, Butterfree's dead. You remember Pidgeot? How Ash had one? It's never been seen again. He said he'd come back for it, and he never did. But yeah. And there we go. A red Gyarados. Like I said, seeing a giant red Gyarados in a lake as a child, admittedly, was kind of awesome to me. It's something I miss. Like, I know some Pokemon games still let you, see, like, the sprite of Pokemon when you go up in, like, or a sprite, but it's a model now, because we were, like, more advanced consoles, but, like, I miss being able to just walk up to, like, legendaries and, like, just face them, like, see them sitting there waiting for you, instead of just, like, you walk up to a portal and it just goes, like, and it attacks you. And here we go, red Gyarados, the shiny Gyarados, because Gyarados is usually blue. This is a not a mandatory catch. You can, you know, beat the Gyarados, but you want to catch this thing because Gyarados is a really good Pokemon, and it's shiny. Why not? This is probably a lot of people's first ever shiny. It was admittedly my second, because I actually had a shiny Pidgey growing up, but I was still pretty happy when I saw Gyarados. We're going to throw a quick ball at it, see if we can get in the first turn. It's usually unlucky that we do, but we'll see. Nope, we cannot. But this Gyarados here will have the moves, well, it's level 30, first off. It'll have the moves Dragon Rage, like he does there. It does 40 damage. Leer and Twister. Oh, and Bite. It can be it can be male or female in the remakes, because in the original game, they didn't have gender. In the original game, it has the moveset of Thrash, there you go, Bite, Dragon Age, and Leer, so it doesn't have Twister. Twister's admittedly a really bad move. Dragon Rage isn't great either, but I guess for the early game, it can be good, because not many Pokemon are going to have more than, like, 50 HP, so you can get down to 10, because it's going to do 40 each time. But for the later game, I don't really recommend Dragon Rage. You can get a move later on called Dragon Tail with Gyarados that I do recommend if you want a Dragon-type move, which isn't bad, and Gyarados can learn a lot of Ice-type moves like Ice Fang, and it can also learn, like, Water-type moves like Surf and stuff. It is not a Dragon-type, it is Water-flying, I should say, but, I love Gyarados. Gyarados is one of my favorites. There's actually a mention of the red Gyarados in Gen 4 on your TV in your house, which was another hint that Gen 4 remakes were going to happen eventually. And besides games-wise, I guess other media, it's probably well known that Lance has a red Gyarados. They actually show it in the Pokemon Generation shorts that you can find on YouTube. And I believe in the anime, he also catches the red Gyarados as well. Well, he does, because in Journeys he has it, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And in other media, Silver actually catches the red Gyarados in the Pokemon Adventures manga, which I didn't remember, actually, but that's pretty cool. But I'm talking about Lake Ridge one more time. There actually was data found in the original Gold and Silver games showing a leftover map with the Pokemon Center and Pokemart here. The interesting thing, though, is that there was actually a gym in the Lake of Rage, and it was going to be, like, surrounded by water, which leads me to think that this originally was going to be a, Mahogany Town was going to be a much bigger town, or Mahogany Town was just going to be the Lake of Rage, actually. It did, like I said, had a gym surrounded by a large pool of water, and while that is not in Gen 2, it would become an actual thing in Sootopolis City in Gen 3, which I really like Sootopolis City. Sootopolis has a really banging theme. Not as good as the Lake of Rage song, obviously, but still. I really love the Lake of Rage theme, and I love this part. I love fighting the red Gyarados. I think it's really memorable. Gyarados is a really popular Pokemon for a good reason, and red is a cool color, even though I do prefer blue. However, saying that, though, I actually prefer the red Gyarados over the blue Gyarados. I don't know if it's just because it's so uncommon, but I think the red Gyarados is a lot more chaotic looking than the blue one. And I really like that a lot. I'm gonna throw a Love Ball at it, because I think catching this giant, like, water dragon thing in a Love Ball would be kind of funny, but yeah. If you do capture the red Gyarados, obviously with any shiny, when it comes out of its Pokeball, it's gonna make that, like, dling effect when it comes out, and if you don't like that, that can be annoying, obviously, but I don't ever really mind it. I've used the red Gyarados before, and just saying this now, I'm gonna be using it again, because I don't really like using handout Pokemon, but I will nearly never get a shiny ever in these LPs, and I love the red Gyarados. I need a water type. We're going to be using the red Gyarados. Why not, you know? This is the one exception I will make to using just straight up, like, handout Pokemon to you, besides in Diamond and Pearl when you get the Lucario, probably, because I will use Lucario, because I have to. But you'll get the red scale. We'll be using that red scale later on, but for now, there's this guy who's kind of familiar. You're Lance. I'm Lance, a trainer like you. You imposter. I found you, faker. Faker? I think you're the fake Lance around here. I messed that line up, but yeah. I abused that joke in the Fire Red Let's Play, and I'm going to do it again here. But he's telling us about some mysterious radio waves that we need to go check out, and it's what's in Mahogany Town, so we need to go check that out. But yeah, this guy here will talk about the crater being filled with, like, the giant Gyarados. I love that. I think that's cool that a bunch of Gyarados just got around one day, and you're like, you know what, fuck it, let's make a big storm and cause a crater. That's kind of awesome. But I do love that, and There's actually something that reminds me of that. There's an episode of the Pokemon anime in Season 1 where the Gyarados... It's the episode after the SSN sinks, and they get out and they're, like, on a raft, and, like, a bunch of Gyarados show up, and they have to, like, get thrown around by it. It reminds me of that, oddly enough, but, yeah. And they took 1,000 Pokédollars from me again, so I'm 2,000 left. Team Rocket really seems like the Department of Education stealing college funds, but that's just me. I don't know why I brought that up in this Pokemon Let's Play, but why not? But now that we've caught that red Gyarados, I do want to put that red Gyarados in my team. And next time in Pokemon Soul Silver, we're going to be seeing up what's with those weird radio waves coming from the mysterious, totally not evil house. And just seeing what goes on from there and using Gyarados quite a bit. So join me next time for more Pokemon.